Hi, I'm Brianna, a lash educator and business coach dedicated to helping lash artists like you step into your potential and build a thriving career. Whether you're here to elevate your skills, start educating, or scale your business to six figures, this is the space where we dive into strategies, share real stories, and give you actionable steps to grow. Let's redefine what's possible for your lash business together.
Today's episode is going to feel like a full class rather than a casual chat. So if you're able to, grab a pen and paper. This is one of those episodes where writing things down will make a big difference. We're talking about reaching, what it looks like when business hasn't been taught, and how to correct it. When I say reaching, I mean the effort you're making to get clients in the door. But when it's unsupported by structure, it becomes exhausting, inconsistent, and ineffective. When business hasn't been taught, reaching usually looks like constantly posting without really knowing what to say or why you're saying it. It looks like sending DMs, offering discounts or free sets, hoping someone will say yes. It looks like replying to every story, viewer, model call, or comment thread. Anything that feels like an opportunity. It feels busy, it feels like effort, but it doesn't feel stable. And one of the clearest signs that something is missing is this feeling that if you stop reaching, everything stops. The bookings stop, the inquiries stop, the momentum disappears. That's not because you're bad at marketing. It's because reaching has become the only strategy holding your business up. When business foundations are missing, artists rely on urgency instead of structure. You haven't been taught client flow, positioning, offer clarity, pricing confidence, or systems that work when you're offline. So instead, you compensate with effort, more posting, more messaging, more pushing. Over time, reaching starts to feel heavy because it's carrying the weight of an entire business on its own. The problem with constant reaching is that it quietly creates patterns you don't want. It trains clients to expect discounts. It attracts people who aren't ready to commit. It creates inconsistent income and leads to burnout. And eventually, it makes incredibly talented artists start questioning their worth, not because their work isn't good, but because the business around it isn't built to support them. So let's correct this properly. I want you to write this sentence at the top of your page. Reaching isn't the problem, lack of structure is. And underneath that, write, my goal is to stop chasing and start attracting, because reaching doesn't disappear when you learn business. It becomes intentional instead of desperate. The first thing you need to get clear on is exactly who you're talking to. If you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. And that's when reaching feels awkward. So as I talk through this, I want you to write your answers as we go. Start by asking yourself who you actually want to service. Not just anyone who wants lashes, but the type of client you would love more of. Think about their lifestyle. Are they busy professionals? Mums? Students? Women who value maintenance and consistency? Women who want natural lashes or bold glam? Clients who value calm and professionalism? Or clients who love energy and conversation? Now think about what that person values most. Is it time, luxury, comfort, results, a quiet appointment, feeling looked after, high standards, feeling confident when they leave? Now ask yourself what your ideal client needs to believe in order to book you. Do they need to believe you're safe, that you're premium, that you're consistent, that you'll guide them, that you'll make them feel confident and comfortable? Once you've thought that through, write a simple sentence for yourself. Something like, I help this type of client feel this way by providing this type of service. That sentence becomes the anchor for your messaging. The next thing to think about is how you actually want your business to feel when someone experiences it. Not just what you do, but the feeling you're creating. Imagine your client walking in for the first time. What do you want them to feel in their body? Calm, relaxed, excited, safe, luxurious, grounded. Now choose 3 words that describe the feeling you want your business to give. Just 3. Those words should influence everything. Your colors, your photos, your tone, your space, and your content. Ask yourself honestly whether your current branding and online presence match that feeling. Because when your brand feels cohesive, reaching becomes easier. People already understand what you're about before you even speak to them. Now let's talk about how you're positioning yourself. Without business education, a lot of artists accidentally position themselves as available instead of valuable. And that often shows up as constant discounts, model calls, and messaging that asks for approval instead of holding standards. So I want you to think about what makes your service a premium choice. Even if you're still early, premium doesn't mean expensive. It means intentional. Think about your standards, your hygiene, your consultation process, your attention to detail, your safety, your education, your consistency. Now say this to yourself and write it down if you need to. I don't compete on price. I compete on standard. That one shift changes how you speak, how you post, and how you reach. Now let's talk about your brand personality and voice, because this is where a lot of people get stuck sounding like everyone else. If you don't choose a clear brand personality, you'll borrow other people's voices. And that's when reaching starts to feel unnatural. Your business has a role it plays in your client's life. Maybe it's nurturing and supportive. Maybe it's confident and structured. Maybe it's creative and expressive. Maybe it's educational and guiding. As you listen, decide which role feels most aligned for you. Then think about how that should sound when you speak or write. Calm and reassuring, confident and direct, warm and friendly, polished and professional. Once your voice is clear, reaching stops feeling forced because you're no longer trying to sound like someone else. We'll go much deeper into brand archetypes and voice in the next episode because this is one of the fastest ways to build recognition and trust. Now, the final piece that changes everything is structure. A lot of reaching happens simply because there's no clear plan. So ask yourself where you want someone to go after they see your content. Do you want them to book through a link, send a DM with a keyword, fill out a consultation form, choose one main action, then commit to repeating that same action consistently instead of changing it every few days? When your pathway is clear, reaching becomes calm and strategic instead of reactive. And here's the biggest mindset shift I want you to take from this episode. You didn't learn lashes by guessing. You didn't build skill by hoping. You followed structure, practiced, and learned standards. Business works the same way. When business is taught properly, reaching stops being survival. It becomes alignment. If reaching feels exhausting right now, it's not because you're doing it wrong, it's because you're doing it without business foundations. Before the next episode, I want you to choose just one area from today to refine who you're speaking to, how your brand feels, how you're positioned, your voice, or your client pathway. Next time, we're going deeper into brand archetypes and business voice, so your content sounds clear, confident, and recognizable without you burning yourself out trying to be everywhere at once.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're walking away with new insights and inspiration to take the next step in your journey. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to share it with a fellow lash artist or tag me on Instagram with your biggest takeaway. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep building your dream business. I'm here cheering you on every step of the way.